Es gibt kein Zurück mehr? Vielleicht bin ich doch nicht glücklich. Was passiert hier?
Good, because I have an idea to get us out of here. Though you're probably not going to like it.
Wir gehen zur Prinzessin zurück.
The blade. We can use the blade to get out of this. I can hear everything you say, little voice. There's only one thing it would want you to use that blade on, and I'm afraid that thing is you, dear hero. He's right. It's the only way out. Do you hear that? It wants to take this happiness away from you. It wants this wonderful place to end.
Wonderful,
Do you not?
wonderful place.
There's more for us to do, and the only way for us to do it is to take that blade and use it.
Auf geht's.
Don't you dare.
Doch. Genau das. Wenn wir die Klinge benutzen, würde uns das nicht, du weißt schon, umbringen? Wären wir dann nicht tot?
How astute. You are absolutely correct. Using the blade to kill yourself would kill you. And you shouldn't do it. In a sense, we die, but looking at things from another angle, are we even really alive anymore? This place, it's nothing. It's absolutely nothing. It's just the same thing, constantly, forever.
Ja, schon
I
ein
know this is
bisschen.
out there, but trust me, I know using the blade will work.
Trust me.
That little voice didn't want you to slay the princess. It didn't want you to be happy.
Aber wer sagt denn, dass ich glücklich bin? Ich wäre ziemlich sauer, wenn wir wirklich sterben.
I made this happy little place for you. Is this not a good enough reward for saving the world?
Nein.
An eternity of bliss?
Nein.
You ingrate?
Great.
Fine. Whatever. For the first time since time stopped meaning anything, you throw open the door to the basement and walk down the stairs. The princess's body is dust and bones.
Oh,
though the blade you used to
wow.
slay her is still as pristine as the day you first held it.
Also da war schon sehr, sehr viel Zeit rum.
You pick up the blade, you
Krass.
stab yourself, and you die.
Schön.
The end.
The end.
Nice knowing you.
Bitte, bitte. Der Geist.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. You're here to slay. My tricks? What on earth are you talking about? We've just met for the first time. If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way.
Ja.
That's fine. It wasn't very hard to kill her
Gleichgültig.
last
Oh
time.
mein Gott.
We'll just do it again.
Will ich aber nicht.
Well, if for whatever reason you're going to insist that this has happened before, at least your heart's in the right place.
Von einem Drittel von uns. Nehmen wir an, ich sage die Wahrheit und alles ist wirklich schon einmal passiert. Warum sollte ich auf dich hören? Warum sollte ich überhaupt etwas tun?
Those are two very different questions, but fine, I'll indulge you if that's what it takes to get you moving. Let's say for a moment that this really is the second time you've met me, or at least a version of me. If you're back here, I'm assuming you died, which probably only happened because you didn't listen to me.
Oh doch, oh doch. Genau das habe ich gemacht.
We slew the princess just like you asked us to, and then you locked us away in an empty void for eternity. So we slew ourselves too.
Schön, ne?
Well, if you killed yourself, then you weren't listening to me, because I would never want you to do that. Believe it or not, I care about you.
Ja, ja. Ja, ja.
And I believe your other question was something along the lines of, oh, what's the point of doing anything? If you're asking that, it sounds to me like you're making the rather dangerous assumption that your actions last time around didn't have any consequences. What do you mean? Of course there weren't any consequences. We slew the princess, the world outside the cabin disappeared, we died, and now everyone's right back where they started. That sounds pretty consequence-free to me.
Ja, für mich auch. Denke ich.
Yes, but in this purely hypothetical scenario, that begs the question of how you got back here. Did time simply rewind itself, or were you instead transported to a different world entirely?
Aber das eine hat mit dem anderen doch gar nichts zu tun. Trotzdem war die andere Welt ja fertig.
Had you failed to slay the princess, what would have happened to everyone in the place you left? It doesn't matter, because we didn't fail to slay her.
No.
And if she's really back, which I doubt, it'll be just as easy to do it again. But after that nasty trick you pulled on us,
Ich glaube nicht.
maybe she's not the only one around here in need of slaying. Just stay focused, will you?
Okay, dann reden wir über die Prinzessin.
Just be quick about it.
Ja. Wenn überhaupt, ist die Welt untergegangen, nachdem ich sie erschlagen hatte. Als ich gehen wollte, war plötzlich alles weg.
That's a good point. How do we know we didn't have things backwards? Maybe slaying the princess was what ended the world, not the other way round.
Na, wenn ich mir manche Welten anschaue, nachdem wir gestorben sind.
Yes. Maybe this whole thing was a trick to get us to end the world.
Yes.
And now we get to go through the whole charade again, wholly aware of what's waiting for us at the end. But that's assuming she's alive in that cabin. We did kill her, after all. You're going to find her in the cabin. If the princess had actually been slain, you wouldn't be here.
Aber ich habe sie getötet.
Let me assure you, killing her will not end the world. I don't know what you think happened to you last time, but it's a load of nonsense. You'll get your happy ending. I promise.
Ich bin mir da ja nicht sicher.
Well, that's exactly what we're afraid of.
Ja.
Really? Living happily ever after sounds that bad to you? Oh well, there's no use arguing over your masochism. The cabin awaits.
Husch, husch. Letztes Mal habe ich ihr das Messer ins Herz gerammt. Und sie ist einfach gestorben. Wie kann jemand die Welt zerstören?
She just can. You'll have to trust that what I'm saying is true.
Ja, also tun wir aber nicht. Wer hat sie in dem Keller eingesperrt? Was ist das für ein Ort?
People locked her in that basement, and I told you what this place is. It's a path in the woods. Don't overcomplicate things.
Doch? Warum können die Leute, die sie eingesperrt haben, nicht selbst erschlagen? Warum bleibt das an mir hängen? Du weichst aus. Was verheimlichst du mir?
I've told you everything you need to know. Going into more detail would just overcomplicate an otherwise very simple situation and make your job more difficult.
Aber lass mich das doch entscheiden.
This is boring. He's clearly not interested in talking. So let's just do as he says. And maybe he'll stop bothering us.
Bothering. Warum können ihr das?
I'm not supposed to say this, but it's because you're special. You're the only person capable of doing this. Call it a prophecy, if that helps, but it's just the way things are.
Nee, es gefällt mir nicht.
Oh, I didn't know we were special. Of course we're special. Great.
Auf geht's.
Now, if you don't mind, the whole world is waiting with bated breath for you to save it from ruin.
Dann gehen wir zur Hütte.
A warning before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says. She won't be a problem.
Bitte nicht?
The interior of the cabin is cold, a soft odor of dirt permeating the air. Cobwebs flutter in the corners. You can hear wind whistling outside, banging the shutters against the windows. The only furniture of note is an elegant antique table with a pristine blade perched on the edge. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this
Nehmen was
right.
mit?
It feels like no one's been here for a long, long time.
Ja.
Like
Schon
I've
so
been
ein
saying,
bisschen.
she's dead. We killed her already. That's because there isn't a mirror. There's a table, the blade sitting on the table, and the door to the basement. There's nothing else in here. There's definitely a mirror.
Gehen wir da
There
nochmal hin?
isn't. Who cares if there's a mirror? Let's just go into the basement and find her body, so we
Nein!
can be done with this.
Aber das ist doch viel zu einfach. Wie hinreißend ich
Okay, less about
aussehe.
that and more about whether we're being lied to. If he's willing to lie about something as innocuous as a mirror, what else is he hiding from us?
Das ist es ja.
I'm not
Es ist
lying to
jedes
you.
Mal weg.
Use your eyes. There is no mirror. Why would I lie about something so meaningless? What good would it even do? Very different. Maybe that's because you haven't actually been here.
Doch.
I hope this means you'll finally drop that ridiculous second life proposition.
Nein.
You haven't died. You certainly haven't already slain the princess.
Das weißt du doch gar nicht.
So focus up. A lot's riding on this.
Wir nehmen die Klinge mit.
You take the blade from the table. It will be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a weapon.
Wir nähern uns den Spiegel.
Walk up to the wall next to the basement door. It's a wall. There isn't much to see here. This really isn't funny. You reach forward and rub your hand
Ist ja,
against
was
the
ist denn
cabin
das
wall.
immer mit diesem
I hope you
Spiegel?
know
Ich
how
verstehe
ridiculous
das
you look right
nicht.
But it was there a second ago. And now it's gone. Let's not spend much longer worrying over it. Clearly it's not even important enough to be acknowledged.
Gut, dann gehen wir runter.
The door to the basement groans open, revealing an old banister and a creaky wooden stairwell. Everything is coated in a thick layer of dust, and you can feel it settle into your lungs as you breathe in the stale air. The very building itself feels dead. If the princess lives here, slaying her would probably be doing her a favor.
Aber sie ist doch nicht tot. Oder ist sie jetzt doch tot?
The room below is silent. Nobody's here, naturally. As much as I appreciate the optimism, you shouldn't be so sure. I guess we'll just have to go down and see.
Auf geht's.